Dear students, welcome to the new lecture on C programming for problem solving. This is Shilpa Shetty, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Science and Engineering, EGIET, Mangalore. Dear students, in this lecture we will be studying a program that describes how to multiply two matrices. So you know that matrices are nothing but two-dimensional array. So how we can multiply the two-dimensional array? So that is the program that will be discussed in this session. So here is a question. Write a C program to implement matrix multiplication. So the program goes like this: hash include stdio.h, hash include standard library.h, void main. So here you know that we are multiplying two matrices. So let us consider the two matrices as matrix A and matrix B, and the product of the two matrices, let us store it in another matrix, say C. And let M and N represents the order of matrix A, and P and Q represent the order of matrix B. So here is the declaration part. First, here we have int Mn representing order of matrix A, PQ representing order of matrix B, A of 10 10 representing matrix A, B of 10 10 representing matrix B, and C of 10 10 which is the product of matrix A and B. Then we have three variables here, I, J and K. So these variables are used for the for loop. These are loop variables used in the for loop. So first let us read the order of matrix A. So printf enter the order of matrix A, scanf %d, ampersand m, ampersand n. So I hope you all know what do you mean by order of the matrix. Order of the matrix is nothing but number of rows and number of columns in the matrix. So I already told you that the order of matrix A is m and n. So the value that is entered by the user is stored in the variables m and n. So %d, because both m and n are integers, ampersand m, ampersand n. So store the values in m and n respectively. Next, let us read the order of matrix B. So matrix B has P number of rows and Q number of columns. So the order of matrix B is P, Q. So we write the scanf statement as scanf %d, ampersand P, ampersand Q. So the order of matrix B is read now and it is stored in P and Q. Now we have to check if the number of columns in the first matrix is same as the number of rows in the second matrix, because if two matrices are to be multiplied, then the number of columns in the first matrix should be same as the number of rows in the second matrix. Now let us consider matrix A as the first matrix and matrix B as the second matrix. Then the order of matrix A is m cross n. So the number of columns is n here, and the order of matrix B is P cross Q. So the number of rows is P. So now we have to check if n is equal to P. If they are equal, then we can continue with the matrix multiplication, and if they are not equal, we cannot multiply the two matrices. So if n is not equal to P, then printf matrix multiplication not possible, because we cannot multiply the two matrices, and we can terminate the program. So we write exit 0. So exit 0 method is defined in standard library.h, that is stdlib.h. So if you are writing exit 0 in the program, we need to include the standard library header file. So once the statement gets executed, the program will get terminated because we cannot multiply the matrices. Otherwise, it means that the orders are same, so we can proceed with the multiplication. So before proceeding with the multiplication, let us read the elements into matrix C and matrix B. So we have already studied how to read values into a two-dimensional array. So we need two for loops here. So if m and n are the number of rows and columns of the first matrix, then the for loop will go like this. For I is equal to 0, I less than m, I plus plus. For j is equal to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. So the first for loop is for the rows and the second for loop is used to read each element of a row, or we can say second for loop is used for the column. Scanf percentage d ampersand a of ij. So the value that is read has to be stored in the matrix A here. So next again we will read the elements into matrix B. So printf enter elements into matrix B. So the for loop, again the loop variables used are I and j, but the order is now p and q. So the for loop goes like this. For I is equal to 0, I less than p, I plus plus. For j is equal to 0, j less than q, j plus plus. Scanf percentage d ampersand b of ij. So the values are now read into matrix B. So now that we have both the matrices, matrix A and matrix B, now we need to multiply the two matrices. So in order to multiply the two matrices, we need three for loops. We know that how the matrices are multiplied. An element from a particular row is multiplied with elements from a particular column of the second matrix. So that is, if you are taking elements from row 1, then it is multiplied with corresponding elements from column 1 of the second matrix. So here the first for loop, it is nothing but row element, and the second for loop is nothing but column element of the second matrix. So for I is equal to 0, loop variable remains I and j here. I is equal to 0, I less than m, because we are taking element from the particular row here of the first matrix. So for I is equal to 0, I less than m, I plus plus. For j is equal to 0, j less than q, j plus plus. So here m is nothing but the number of rows in the first matrix, and here q is nothing but number of columns in the second matrix. So a row element from a particular row is multiplied with the element from a particular column of the from the same column of the second matrix. So what we do is, we know that the matrix C is the resultant matrix, that is the product of the two matrices are stored in matrix C. So before we store any element, we need to initialize the matrix C to 0. So we write C of ij is equal to 0, the corresponding row and column of matrix C, where you are going to store the element. Initially let us take it as 0. For example, initially you will multiply. For example, suppose that you are calculating the value for C of 0, 0. So let's initially take it as 0. So next, we need to write one more for loop, that is for the multiplication. This for loop, the third for loop, indicates how many multiplications are there for each element. In order to calculate one particular value of the matrix C, how many multiplications have to be done, and we know that the total number of multiplication will be equal to the number of rows in the number of columns in the first matrix or number of rows in the second matrix. For example, if there are 3 columns in the first matrix, then in order to multiply the two matrices, there has to be 3 columns in the 3 rows in the second matrix. So the element from the first element from the first row is multiplied with first element from the first column. Similarly, the second element from the first row is multiplied with second element from the first column. Also, the third element from the first row is multiplied with third element from the first column. So here what happens is, the row as well as the column will remain the same. So how many elements are there in the column row, or that is how many elements are there in each row, that is nothing but number of columns in the first matrix is, or how many rows are there in the second matrix. So that many multiplications will be there. So we write another for loop that represents this multiplication, the number of multiplications. So that for loop is written like this: for k is equal to 0, k less than n, because the total number of multiplications is equal to the number of columns in the first matrix or number of rows in the second matrix. So here either you can write n, or you can also write it as p, since n and p are equal. So either you can write n or you can write p, since n and p are equal. So for k is equal to 0, k less than n, k plus plus, or for k is equal to 0, k less than p, k plus plus, both are fine. So but remember, this third one represents the number of multiplications. So how do we multiply the matrix? So we need to write this statement: C of ij is equal to C of ij plus A of ik into B of kj, which means the one that I have already told. It means, for example, first we will take A of 0. Suppose we are in the 0th row and the 0th column of the matrices A and B, then A of 0, 0 is multiplied with B of 0, 0, plus A of 0, 1 is multiplied with B of 1, 0, and A of 0, 2 is multiplied with B of 2, 0. So if you write down this, you observe that whenever you write these three multiplication, the first value in the index of the matrix A remains constant throughout, that is for the three multiplications, because you take it as A of 0, 0 into something, then A of 0, 1 into something, A of 0, 2 into something, because you are in the same row. Similarly, if you take the second matrix, it is B of 0, 0 into something plus B of 1, 0 into something and plus B of 2, 0 into something. So what do you observe here is it is something into this so what do you observe here is, in matrix B, into something is nothing but the element from matrix A here. When I say with respect to A, it is from matrix B. So what you observe is the first one, that is the row index for matrix A will remain constant, and the column index for matrix B will remain constant. So we know that row is index, we can take it as I, and the column index, we know that we have taken it as J. So that is constant. So we write it as A of I k into B of kj. So if you see the multiplications again, it will be A of 0, 0 into B of 0, 0. So middles are two middle values, indexes if you take, they are 0, values if you take, they are 0, 0. Similarly, A of 0, 1 into B of 1, 0. Again they are ones in middle, and A of 2, 0 or A of 0, 2 into B of 2, 0. Again the 2's are same. So we write that, let us take them as k, because that indicates the number of multiplications. So the statement would be C of ij is equal to C of ij plus A of ik into B of kj. So why it is C of ij plus? Because each time you multiply, you need to add it to the previous result. So there is an addition involved. So once you multiply the first element from the first matrix and the first element from the second matrix, you need to multiply, and there are some, you need to add it to the product from the next multiplication. So we write C of ij is equal to C of ij plus A of ik into B of kj. So this is the multiplication process. So I hope this is clear. So the first for loop represents the number of column, the number of rows in the first matrix. Second for loop represents the number of columns in the second matrix, and the third for loop represents the total number of multiplications in each multiplication. So the multiplication between the two matrices takes place. So now let us display the results. So let us display all the three matrices, that is matrix A, matrix B and matrix C. So in order to display the matrices, again we are using the for loop, but one thing to remember is once you print each row of the matrix, you need to go to the next line to print the next row. So the let's display matrix A now. So for I is equal to 0, I less than M, I plus plus. For J is equal to 0, J less than N, J plus plus. Printf %d /t, because you need space between the elements of the matrix A of ij. So we know that the outer for loop represents the rows, the inner for loop represents the columns here. So once we display a particular row is nothing but elements of that row, we need to go to the next line. So what we do is, once the inner for loop executes, so inner for loop is used to display the elements of represent the column indices there. So once we finish with all the columns of a particular row, we need to go to the next line. So there is a \n written after the inner for loop. So the order of matrix A is M cross N. So the for loop, the conditions are I less than M and J less than N. So once this is done, let us display the elements of matrix B. So printf the matrix B. So the order of matrix B is P and Q. So the remaining portion will remain be as it is. So for I is equal to 0, I less than P, I plus plus. For J is equal to 0, J less than Q, J plus plus. Printf %d /t B of ij. So again, after we finish with the particular row, we need to insert a new line so that the next row gets printed in a new line. So that is how the format of matrix goes. So once we are done with matrix A and matrix B, the next thing to do is to display the resultant matrix C. So again, the for loops will remain as it is, but this time the order of matrix C is M cross Q. So we know that when we multiply matrices of order M cross N with matrix of order P cross Q, suppose N and P are equal, then the resultant matrix will be M cross Q. So now let us display the resultant matrix. So for I is equal to 0, I less than M, I plus plus. For J is equal to 0, J less than Q, J plus plus. Printf %d /t C of ij. So here we are displaying the elements of matrix C. Again, once we are done with the row, we need to insert a new line. So printf, this is how we display the resultant matrix C. So now let us trace the program. So how the matrix multiplication takes place. Let us take two matrices A and B of order 2 cross 2. So it's possible to multiply the two matrices since the number of columns and the number of rows in the first and second matrix respectively are the same. So let's start with the iteration here. So initially for I is equal to 0, so I is set to 0. For J is equal to 0, so again J is set to 0, J less than Q, J 0 is less than 2, the condition is true, so the control will go inside the inner for loop. C of ij is 0, so C of ij is set to 0. And the next statement in the inner for loop is another for loop for k is equal to 0. So now k is set to 0, k less than n, 0 is less than 2, the condition is true. C of ij is C of ij plus B of ik into B of k, A of ik into B of kj. So all I, j and k are 0. So if you substitute in the equation. So it becomes C of 0 0 is equal to C of 0 0 plus A of 0 0 into B of 0 0. So the value will be 0 plus 1 into 2, which is equal to 2, since A of 0 0 is 1 and B of 0 0 is 2. So once we are done, the control goes to K plus plus. So now K becomes 1, and again the condition is checked. 1 is less than 2, the condition is true. So again the control will go inside the K for loop. So now again C of ij is C of ij plus A of ik into B of kj. So we have I and j values as 0 0, whereas k value is 1. So the statement becomes C of 0 0 is C of 0 0 plus A of 0 1 into B of 1 0. So when you substitute the values for I, j, k, so C of 0 0 we got from the previous iteration, we got C of 0 0 as 2. So 2 plus A of 0 1, that is the second element from row 0, that is 5, into B of 1 0, that is the element from the second row, first column of the second matrix. So it is nothing but 4. So 5 into 4 20, 20 plus 2 22. So next iteration k becomes 2, that is k plus plus, k becomes 2 and 2 is less than 2, the condition is false. So the for loop terminates. So the value at C of 0 0 will be now 22. Similarly, once the for loop terminates, we have reached the end of the that is end of the for loops, completely end. So again now what happens, now j will get incremented. So because we are inside the j for loop, j gets incremented. So now j becomes 1. So I will be 0, but the k for loop is over. So the control will come to the increment part of the j for loop. So j becomes 1 now. So again C of ij is 0. So C of 0 1 becomes 0. Again for k is equal to 0. So k becomes 0 now. So now the values are 0, 1 and 1 for ijk. C of ij is C of ij plus E of ik into B of kj. So C of 0 1 will be C of 0 1 plus A of 0 0 into B of 0 1. We are just substituting the ijk value. So it becomes 0 plus 1 into 3 equal to 3. That is the second row first column element from matrix A with second row, that is second column first row element from matrix B is multiplied. So we get it as 3. Next k will get incremented, k becomes 1. Again C of 0 1 is computed, substituting I as 0, j as 1 and k as 1. So we get the old value of C of ij, that is C of 0 1 is 3. 3 plus A of 0 1 is 5 and B of 1 1 is 1. So 5 into 1 5 plus 3, which is equal to 8. So now it becomes 22 8. Likewise this continues. So students, I hope this is clear to you. So if you want, you can trace the further to iteration. So in the next iteration again k becomes 2, then the for loop will fail. So the control will go to j again gets incremented, j also will become 2. Again the condition will fail. So the control will go to the outer for loop where I gets incremented. So now I becomes 1, I was 0 becomes 1, and again the loops will continue as it is. That means now one row is over. Next we will calculate for the second row. So this is how the matrix multiplication takes place. So all you need to remember is how to write the 3 for loops. So first for loop you need to remember as the total number of multiplication. So it is that is how the multiplication takes place, that is row with the column, row of first with column of second. So I is equal to 0, I less than m, I plus plus, j is equal to 0, j less than q, j plus plus. This is easier. I, j, k, the order will remain as same, but the condition number of it is rows. So m, number of columns in second, so q, and the third one it is the total number of multiplication, which is either n or p, since n and p are equal. So k is equal to 0, k less than n, k plus plus. But before writing the third for loop, you need to remember that the elements of the C matrix should be initialized to 0. So you write C of ij as 0. The next statement within the for loop is C of ij is C of ij plus A of ik into B of kj. So I and j at the other ends, and in between we need to write k. So this is how you can remember. So that's all we have for matrix multiplication. Thank you students for watching this.